Hello everyone, welcome to Learn Overflow. In this video, we will be talking about one of the search algorithms, that is binary search. So in computer science, binary search is a search algorithm that helps us find the position of a target value within a sorted array. Remember, binary search works in sorted array. So binary search compares the target value with the middle element of the array. So before starting this binary search, let me just tell you a bit more about it. So binary search is a kind of searching algorithm, and in this, when you divide our searching algorithms on the general classification, so we see there are basically two types. One is interval search and the other one is sequential search. So sequential search are done on some list or array which is traversed sequentially, and every element is checked in that process. So while doing a sequential search, we just traverse the whole array or the list and we just check for the element on a sequence. Sequence search is more like, you can take an example as the linear search. So in linear search, we just search for each element serially and we just find out which one is our target element. And the other one we have is interval search. So in interval search, we especially use this interval search for working on sorted arrays. So in this, we just search in few intervals and find out whether our target is there or not. Binary search is an example of interval search. All right. So just a few things you should know about this interval search is that interval search is a bit more efficient than sequential search. Towards the end of this video, I will explain about the time complexity of sequential search and interval search. I will explain the time complexity of binary search, and in that I will show you that sequential search takes an order of n complexity, while interval search, that is binary search, takes an order of log n complexity. All right, let's look how this binary search works here. So we have this binary search, and here we have an array in front of us. So we are given a task to find to search whether this element 19 is within our search results or not. So we are finding out whether this element 19 is within our search results or not. Now what we will do, first of all, we'll just do it step by step. How? Look, if we are given this array, first, look into this array properly. So in this array, you can see that the elements are already sorted. There's 2, there's 5, there's 7, 10, 14, 19, and 23, 29, and 32. These are the elements that are in the array. So the array is already sorted. You can note that. Also, point to note that these are the markings of the array, that the exact value, the array index that we say. So array index starts from 0. So I have written it from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 8 till 8. The total array index is there. Now we need to search for we need to search for 19. How will you do that? First of all, we'll take 3 pointers. One is low. Here we represent it by L. The other is high. Here we represent it by uh, H, and the third one we have as a pointer is M, that is middle or the mid position. So in binary search, we do like we take 2 pointers, high and low. So initially low is set as the at the position 0, and high is set as the maximum value or the maximum index the array can have. So next, figuring out M. So we figure out M in the formula like M equals L plus high plus low by 2. So we divide the value of high and low by 2. All right, looking back to the values of high and low. So low is 0 here and high is 8 here. So we sum it as 8 plus 0 by 2 and we get as 4. So 4 is the value where the pointer M would point to. So that is the index 4. So here 4 is the index that the pointer M is pointing at. Now what we will do, we will simply check the value at that pointer M. So at position 4 of the array, what value we have? We have 14 here. So we have 14 here. Now we will check whether 14 is less than our search value or not. So search value we had 19. We found that 14 is less than 19. So we found 14 is less than 19. Now next thing is, when you found 14 is less than 19, so that means in a certain array, we should look for a greater value than 14, right? We should look for somewhere this area of this array after 14. Like we know till 14, the before 14, everything will be less than 14. So we will not look into these areas. We will look in a values greater than 14. Okay, so what we will do in the next step? In the next step, we will shift our low to a value where low is basically would become M plus 1, that is mid value plus 1. So it shifted our low to the next higher element, pointing it that low is, so we know till now it's not possible for a value to be there. So we shifted our low to this value. Look, we didn't care what this, so we didn't care what these values comprise of. We are searching for 19 and we know we got 14 at the mid position. So we should look for a higher value in a sorted array. So now we shifted our L to 5, that is the pointer 5, and our high remains at pointer 8, and now we need to find out M. So that is a mid position. Again, the formula remains the same. Low plus high by 2, that's 8 plus 5 by 2. That's 8 plus 5 by 2. Now, 8 plus 5 by 2, you guys will say 6.5, but here 6.5 isn't a valid position, or 6.5 isn't a valid index number in our array, right? That cannot be possible. So what we'll do, whenever this kind of situation arises where we find that it's becoming 6.5, and we'll just omit this 5 and take the exact integer part, that is we will take 6 here. So our M became 6. All right. So here our M became 6. So working on with this, we found what's the element we have at M. So we have 23 at M. Now let's check. We have 23 and we need to find for 19. And the array we have is sorted. So we found that 23 is greater than 19. So when 23 is greater than 19, then we are sure that this area don't contain our required value, right? So we are sure that this area also don't contain our value, this area also don't contain our values. Next we just ignored the other elements here. We are not bothered with these elements, we are not bothered with these elements. We found that 14 in the first step, we found that 14 is something which is not our search, so we need to look for a greater element. In the next one, we found that 23 is not is something not in our search, so we need to look for some smaller elements, and we need to look for some smaller elements, and we are left with an array like this. In that case, when we need to look for some smaller elements that is smaller than M, in that we will shift our H, that is the high position, we will shift it to the value M minus 1. So if we shift H to a value of M minus 1, then H would become 5. Already our L is at 5, and if we just sum this, like 5 plus 5 by 2 is exactly 5. So we found M also became our 5. So we have 3 pointers, and 3 pointers are currently pointing at 5. Now we need to check whether 5 is array at like the value at position 5, that is we have here is 19. Oh, so we need to check whether 19 is equals to our required search or not. If we just look back, what was the required search? Required search was 19. So array was no array value is not the value we are looking for. So we found it as 19, right? So hence we just found our element, and this binary search algorithm would return us the value 5, pointing us that we found our element at position 5. Okay, what would have happened if we didn't find our position, like if 19 was not our search, say we have a search as 15, so what would have happened in that case? So in that case, L was at 5, M was at 5, H was at 5. So we had figured out that M is not equal. M is the value at position M is 5, is 19. That is greater than our search 15. So in that case, we would have searched for an element less than 19. So we also know we cannot search for element less than 14. We found that it's greater than 14. It's less than value at 19. So ultimately, what would have happened? H would have reduced to 4. Like H would have reduced to 4. L would have remained at 5. Since we need to find a value less than 19. So again, this case will be here when the H is like we need to find a lesser value, and H would become M minus 1. H would become M minus 1, and H would become 4 in that case. So that's what it became. L is at 5, H it is 4. That is H is less than L. That is high value is less than low value. If this case occurs, so that means there's nothing in the array we are searching for. The element we are searching for is not present in the array. All right, let's focus on a bit other stuffs. Like we have, I guess you just understood what this algorithm is. Just have a look at this algorithm and look how this worked. So if you just got any doubt out of this procedure, make sure you just write it in the comments below. Moving forward to an working on the code or working on some binary search algorithm written in Python. So I'll just make you write two like show you two algorithms like the two programs written in Python implementing binary search, and I will explain you what one by one what this does. So first, let's see what this normal searching with. Let's not start with the recursive one first. Let's start with this iterative process first and understand how this works. Now, so in the iterative process, we got our array, we got our query, and we got our low and high set to 0 and length of array minus 1. So low would be 0. I will write it in this manner. So our low will be a value 0 and our high will be at value length of array minus 1. That's the process we do. Since our array length starts from 0, so the length of array to return would be we need to take the one value less than this. So I just show you here. So in this array, the array we had here. So in this array, it started from 0 till 8. So number of elements in the array or the length of the array is 9, right? So length of the array we have here is 9. So, but we need 8 here. So that's the reason why we wrote high to be length of array minus 1. Moving on, what we'll do in this iterative process, we'll start it with a while loop, and we'll make sure that a low is less than equals high. Why? In case the array is not found, item is not found, so in that case, high would become less than low. Uh, All right, high would become less than low. So that is high, this low greater than high is not an, I'll write it in a different one. That means low greater than high is not an case we are searching for. That's not a possible case. Okay, so we need to search for low less than equals high. Moving on, we need to find the mid. While we are moving in this loop statement, again and again we need to find the mid, like we did here. We just found out where the mid is. Okay, again and again we just figured out our mid point is. So we need to find our mid, and the mid is writing with the same value, that is high plus low divided by 2. And this division, remember, is an floor division. That is, we just find out, we don't take 6.5, we take here you saw we found 6.5 as our case, but we don't take 6.5, we take it as 6. That is the floor value of our division, that we take it as an integer and the floor value of that integer. All right, moving ahead, we need to find this value. So what this value is array of mid. The thing we were doing here, that we first found mid equals 4, and we just figured out what's the value at 4 is, that is 14. So we just did our checking at 14 less than 19. 19 was our search value, right? 19 was our search value, and that was what we were, so 19 was our search value, and that was what we were searching for, right? So moving on, next thing we need to do is we need to check whether our value is equals query. What was this query? Query was the thing that we were searching for. Query was the thing we were searching for. So we are searching for query. We found the value as val. We'll check whether it's equal. If it's equal, that means we found our item. The item is there in the search, like in the array. So we'll return the mid position. The thing we did here, we returned 5. Remember, we returned the mid position. We return the 5. Moving on, we'll find an else case in case value is less than query. So in case value is less than query, so here our, look here, the value we have is 14. Here in the first scenario we found the value we have is 14 and the query is 19. All right, so value we have is 14 and the query is 19, so value less than query. So what we did in this case, we will say, we'll fix it as low will be mid plus 1. So that's what we did here. Look, when we found this case, we know that this was not our area where we have our value. So we've moved our low to a higher value, that is low is mid plus 1. Look, we shifted this low to a higher value, right? Low is mid plus 1, that is 5, it became here. Moving back, again we need to find else case. So what is the last else case is? In case the first one, if statement was value is the query, then we returned our mid element, that is found the query. In case the value is less than query, then we make our lower index to be mid plus 1. In case our value is greater than query, the thing that happened with us in the second case. So in the second case, what happened with us, our value, what happened with us, our value is the 23, that was greater than our query 19. So value was in that case we need to go for this else statement, that we'll just move our high to be mid plus 1. That's the thing we did, we moved our high to be mid minus 1. So what we did, 6 was the mid and we shifted our high to be mid minus 1, that is 5. So we shifted our high to be 5. So in this way it will go on and on and on, ultimately giving us the either giving us the value, that is we found our query, or it would give us a none, that is we didn't find any query, right? We didn't found the item we're looking for. The same thing can be implemented in a recursive manner. So recursive manner, we get our array, we get our value that is we're searching for, and in recursive manner we need to pass this low and high value. So initially low is 0, and like first time calling this function our low would be 0, and first time calling this function will be length minus 1. All right. So in it, first I'm calling this high will be total length of array minus 1, and low will be length, low will be 0. The same thing we did here, right? In this statement, we are assigning low to be 0 and high to be length of array minus 1. Moving on, if we found a case of low greater than high. So if we found a case of low greater than high, then it's an error case, right? If we found a case of low greater than high, it's actually error case, but error case in the sense low greater than high. In the last case, if we didn't found any value, like if we are searching for 15, then this was a case that could have happened, that high would move to 5 and low would have been at 5. Like high would move to 4 and low would have been at 5. So in that case, low was greater than 5. So if low was greater than high, we'll return minus 1, pointing that hey, we didn't find it out, like we didn't found the item we are searching for. Next step we need to do, we need to find again and again, we need to find this mid. So again and again the function is called, again we call this binary search recur function. So we will figure out this mid value. Mid value is basically low plus high mod 2, find, that's the same thing we did here, right? That's the same thing we did here. Then we'll find out if our value, if our value is less than array of mid, that is the value we are searching for is less than array of mid. It's basically this statement, the else statement. So here we'll move our high to be mid minus 1. So mid minus 1, for this we will, in this recursive mode, we'll call our binary search recur function again with this array passing through it. We'll pass the value to it, the item we're searching for, will pass the low as it is, and will pass the mid minus 1. The thing we did, high is mid minus 1, we just passed mid minus 1 to high. Moving on, if we found a case where its value is greater than array of mid. So a value is greater than array of mid is basically this thing, where is basically this thing where we are calling our binary search recur function, that is recursively calling with an array, passing the value, passing the high value that we currently have, and along with we're changing our low value to be mid plus 1. All right, moving on, there's another last case, that is if a query is the value, that is if a value we are searching for is the array of mid, right? So in such a case, we will go for this case and we'll return our mid value. We'll return our mid position value. So look, that's the thing we did here. We returned our mid. So in the same case, this binary search recursive function works. So after going through this binary search recursive function, we should look at its time complexity. The time complexity for binary search is time of like t of n. That's basically t of n is equal to t of n by 2 plus c. So what this c is the constant time for running these steps. So why we are taking it as t of n equals to t of n plus 1, n by 2 plus c. It's because if we just look at this thing, so what we are doing here, we are just dividing the array, right? So first time in the first iteration we had total n elements. In the next iteration, so in the first iteration we have 9 elements to look for. In the next iteration we had only 4 elements to search our element, like our array length become, in the next iteration our array length become only 4, right? Our array length become only 4. In the third iteration our array length become only 1. Look, we were just dividing our array, right? That is, the total length becomes half. How it's become half? Because we are just finding out the mid element, right? So this way the total length becomes half. if we just look here, like we can apply a Master's theorem for computing the runtime complexity of the reconciliation. And also we can just find out with maybe the recursion tree method. We can also use to find out this value of this T of n and T of this particular time complexity function. So if we apply Master's theorem, so we can see that it's basically T of n is a into T of n by b. So here we know that a is 1, right? We are just applying the second rule of Master's theorem here. So the through the the case 2 of Master's theorem. So in Master theorem we found that a is 1, b is 2, and that becomes, in that case it becomes log of a base b is 1. So if we just find it out, we will see that the ultimate result that comes for us is order of log n. So order of log n is the value of our time complexity, right? Is the time complexity of binary search. That's the order of log n. Also, you might like if we're searching for like the average case time complexity is order of log n. Yeah, also it can happen that we find an best case time complexity to be order of 1. How can we find the best case time complexity? Best case is when, if we're looking for 14 here, if the search element was 14 and we just found the in the first run that hey m is like the array at position m is our search index. So that was the order of 1. That's the best case time complexity. And the worst case time complexity is when he searched for the whole array but he couldn't found the element. That the for the worst case is also order of log n. And the average case, when you found our element but not in the first run, so average case is order of log n. So that's all for today's video, guys. Hope you hope this had some information for you. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope to see you soon in our next video. Thank you.